What's up, YouTubers? What's going on? What's going on? This is AJ Copeland. It's Topics to Go. Hey, there's a question that has come up. So you slept with your best friend. I've been having, there've been a lot of conversations and things going on around about people sleeping with their best friends. Well, supposedly be best friends, whatever. So let's say, hypothetically thinking, and maybe possibly true, that you slept with your best friend. And now you're trying to figure out, what the hell am I going to do now? How can I get out of this situation? I mean, we were best friends, and now, I slept with my best friend, and I don't know what to do now. I'm confused. I'm kind of lost, Are we best friends anymore? Or should we take this to the next level? Should I stop talking to them, or should I stop calling them? I mean, what should I do? Is probably what you're thinking in your mind. Well, the first thing is, I hate to say this, but the first problem is you slept with your best friend. Okay? Supposedly, your best friend. But then, if you and this individual did sleep together, then you got to ask yourself the question, were you really best friends? I mean, how did you really think about each other? What was really on your mind when you made the decision when you made a decision that it was okay to lay down with somebody that you supposedly was close enough to be your brother or your best friend or whatever the case might be? There might have been something there other than what you are willing to admit. Maybe you guys were not best friends at all. Maybe you all always had some type of interest in one another, but was in denial, or was refused or rejection, or was scared to say anything, or you just went along with what sounded best, what seemed to be better. So, just pretend to be good friends, and so you spent a lot of time together. You did a lot of things together. And so before you realize it, boom, bam, there you go, But let me tell you how it leads into this whole idea of two individuals sleeping together, even though they were supposed to be best friends. There are certain lines that should be drawn, okay? There are certain lines that should be drawn if you've, number one, considering yourself best friends, considering yourself tight enough to say, man, you're just as close as one of my relatives or my brother. If you got that type of attitude, or you guys got that type of relationship, then there should be lines drawn right from the beginning. Number one, you have to be very careful what you say to one another. There shouldn't be no back and forth of foreplay with words. There shouldn't be inappropriate conversations. I think there should be a limit on how deep you guys go as it relates to. And I know most people think, well, if we're best friends, we should be able to talk about anything. Well, not anymore. I don't suggest that. I don't suggest that two individuals that are best of friends, just like brothers, should be able to talk about anything. There should be a limit. Not much limit, but there should be a limit, and especially when you start talking about sex. And I think that people get comfortable with one another when they start talking about sex. I mean, if you got a friend that's fine as hell, and they look probably better than anybody you ever dated, and they feel comfortable enough to get naked in front of you, that's taking a chance. I mean, if your friend feel comfortable enough where they feel like they can get naked in front of you, and it's okay, that's taking a chance, because you have crossed the line. You have crossed the line. It's now going into something else other than where it should be going, and it can create problems. I respect my best friends, but I've never gotten naked in front of my best friends. I'm sorry. I feel uncomfortable, just like I would in front of my brother, just like I would in front of a relative, letting them see me naked, even though I'm a grown. I wouldn't do it, and so that's crossing the line. So you have to be very careful what lines you cross. Another thing, having conversations about sex, about each other's, sexual parts and different things like that, private parts, and talking about, how good you are in the bedroom, and sharing those type of things, and who you had sex with the night before, and how you made that person scream and holler and all that kind of stuff. When you start getting into conversations like that and sharing things like that, then you spike up curiosity on the other side. And let's face it, we're human, we're men, and at the end of the day, When you start having those type of conversations, you're going to get those type of responses. And so even though that individual may never say anything, you might be just arousing them. They may get aroused based on what you're saying, and you don't even know it because they're not sharing that with you. You see all over Facebook, BF, BFF, BF, my best friend, my boo, my partner, my nigga, my dog, all this, this is my nigga, this is my dog, this is my partner. Best friends, let me tell you something, in my view. Now, I'm just going to tell you what I feel like a best friend is. A best friend is a brother you wish you had. That's what a best friend is. A best friend is the brother you wish you had or the brother that you don't have. Now, that's not to throw off your relatives and say, that this person is better or greater than your relative. But what it's saying is that they're equal to your relative, is that you value them enough to look at them as someone as your blood relative. Now, ask yourself this question. Would you sleep with your brother? Now, I know some will, but I'm talking about if you rationally thinking and got some sense. Would you sleep with your blood relative knowing that they're your blood relative? I don't think so. I don't think you would. So that's what a best friend should be, is somebody that is so close to you until you view them like a brother. And if it was possible, they would be your brother or your sister. You see what I'm saying? Or your cousin or your relative. I mean, back in the day, that's all we did anyway. We adopted people. We had what we call extended family members. We would call people our cousins, our brothers, our uncles, because we felt that way. We felt that kind of love for those individuals. But we also knew that there was lines that we just did not cross if we wanted to develop that type of relationship with that individual. But what has happened a lot in these day and time, people are sleeping with their best friends and yet calling them their best friends. I don't think so. I beg to differ. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with that concept. I don't agree with that concept. In fact, I think that when you do that, you have damaged the whole ideal or the whole thought of being best friends. You have killed it. There is no way possible I could say you're my best friend, sleep with you, and then continue to call you my best friend. There's no way possible. Now, the flip side to that is that there have been situations where people have slept together and have been intimate with one another and found out that they were better as friends than intimate partners. That's a whole nother thing, because there's no curiosity there. In fact, those friendships sometimes are better because there's no curiosity there. You already know how it is. You already been there, done that. You follow what I'm saying? But you started out with an interest. There was no sneaking up behind the door, pretending, acting. You was right up front. You let the person know, I'm interested in you. You tried it. It didn't work out. So you felt like you'll be better as friends. And you did not cross that line any longer. You made a decision, a conscious decision not to sleep together anymore. You don't sleep together anymore. And you look at each other strictly as friends. Been there, done that. And you might ask the question, well, if you could do that way, why can't it be that two best friends can sleep together? It's not what you do sometimes, it's how you do it. The fact of the matter is that you came into the equation saying to one another, bruh, you cool. I like chilling with you. You good people, man. I see you like a brother. I see you like a friend, like my best friend. You my homie. I got your back. You talked about each other's, experiences and relationships. You talk about each other's experiences in life. You talk about each other's experience in employment and different things like that. You share personal things, whether it be your health issues, whether it be family issues, whether it be relationship issues. You've had those type of discussions with one another because you trusted each other on that type of level. You did not see each other, at least you weren't supposed to see each other in any type of intimate way. And you wasn't trying to go there. But somebody crossed the line. Somebody went there. And so when you go there, there are consequences for crossing the line. And so that's why it's so difficult that when you move on with somebody else and you tell this individual, oh, that's my best friend. And then they find out that you've been sleeping with your best friend. then the next time you tell them this is my best friend, they're going to question that. You have brought a stain on your friendship. You follow me? So that's the situation. I'll get back with you guys later. Thank you. Bye.